One of the advantages of OnSong is its ability to take simple text files and create great looking chord charts in a way that works for you. In this video tutorial, I'll show you how to write chords in the editor, how to highlight and style your chords, how to display and pick chord diagrams, how to play back chords using soundbanks, and then finally, how to edit chord variations in your library. While OnSong can view other file formats such as PDF and Word, OnSong works best with text-based chord charts such as the OnSong or Chord Pro file formats. Here we are writing a chord chart in OnSong's built-in song editor. You'll see we set the title of the song and artist on the first two lines and then set up some metadata like key and tempo on the next lines. After a blank line, we've named a new section by typing a name followed by a colon. Next we can type some lyrics. OnSong lets you align chords with lyrics either by typing them in square brackets within the lyrics, or by typing them on a line above the lyrics and using spaces for placement. Remember that if you are using chords over lyrics, that only chords can be included on the line. One exception is if you include text in parentheses, such as 2x. When we're all done, let's tap Done. Your chord chart doesn't look much different, but the chords are being detected. To find out, let's style them in various ways. Go into the Style Preferences menu by tapping on the sliders icon in the menu bar. Locate the chord highlighting section. Here you can highlight chords, change the font color, and make them bold and italic. You can also change the size of the chords using the chord slider found here. Last, you can toggle chords on and off using the power button on the right side. This is great for vocalists or musicians that have chords memorized. Because OnSong knows the chords that are in your chord chart, it can also display chord diagrams to use when playing the song. Whether you're learning, teaching, or just need some extra help playing that D-flat augmented chord, OnSong can help you out. To turn on chord diagrams, locate the diagram slider at the bottom of the Style Preferences menu. Tap on the power button on the right to turn on chord diagrams. You can then use the sliders on the left to adjust the size of the chord diagrams. You can fit 4 to 10 chord diagrams across the width of the page. Something new in OnSong 1.99 is a change to how chord diagrams are drawn. Let's take a look at how this has been changed by evaluating the chord diagram itself. Along the left side are numbers representing the frets on the guitar fretboard. The top of the chord chart indicates if strings should be played open with an O or not played at all with an X. Along the bottom of the chart are numbers that now represent the fingers to use to play the chord. OnSong automatically determines finger positions to use when playing the chord. Because OnSong knows the fingers to use, it can also recommend how to play bar chords. Finger positions can be changed when creating and editing songs, which we'll cover in a little bit. If you don't like how the chord chart appears, OnSong offers you various customization methods. Go into the Utilities menu by tapping the gear icon in the menu bar and choose Settings to open the settings screen. Tap on Display Settings on the left and then Song Formatting. Under the chord diagram section, you can toggle left-hand diagrams to flip the diagram. You can also turn bars, finger positions, and fret numbers on and off. OnSong places chord diagrams at the bottom of the chord chart by default. While we are in settings, let's place the chord diagram on the top of our chord chart. Choose diagram position and then choose above lyrics. Tap Done and we can see the chord diagrams drawn before the lyrics begin. You may want the chord diagrams to display as you play through the song. Let's go back into the settings screen and change the diagram position to within lyrics. Now we can see the chord diagrams drawn above the lyrics in place of the chord letter. You can use both the diagram and chord size sliders to adjust the size of the diagrams. Maybe you don't need chord diagrams on the page, but you just need to reference them from time to time. Or maybe you play a different instrument that isn't guitar. Just tap on the chord to open the Chord Inspector. This lets you see how to play the chord on guitar, piano, bass, ukulele, banjo, or mandolin. This is a great tool for learning how to play an instrument, or to find new ways to play. When you choose a different instrument and close the Chord Inspector, the chord chart will redraw the chord diagrams for that instrument. You can also tap on a particular chord diagram to set that as a preference for the song. For instance, here we choose a different variation of the chord and close the Chord Inspector. The chord chart will redraw with the new preferred chord. OnSong can also play back each chord variation from the diagram. This is a great way to make sure you are playing the chord correctly. To use this, open the Chord Inspector and tap on the speaker icon in the upper left to turn on Chord Playback. OnSong uses soundbanks to play chords which are an extra in-app purchase of 99 cents. Once turned on, just tap on the chord diagram in the Chord Inspector to hear it played back. You can change how chords are played back in Settings. Open the Utilities menu again, and then Settings. Choose Live Settings, and then Chord Playback. Here we can adjust what chords and diagrams do when tapped. For instance, we can turn off the Chord Inspector or set chord diagrams to only play back the chord when tapped. We can also change how the chord is strummed. Let's set up the chord diagrams to play the chord and pick the chord at random. We'll also play the chord slowly. Now when we tap on the chord diagram, OnSong will play the chord using those settings. OnSong has a chord dictionary that lets you build your own chords or edit existing ones. To make changes to a chord, open the Chord Inspector and tap on the Edit button in the upper right-hand corner. This will display that chord in the chord dictionary. You can also open the chord editor by opening the Utilities menu and choosing the Chord Diagram Library option under Editors. Then choose or search for a chord on the left side. Tap on the plus button to create a new chord. The name of the chord is entered in the first spot. You can then enter the frets and optional finger positions. When entering frets, X means do not play the string, 0 means open string, and numbers 1 through 9 indicate the 1st through 9th fret. If you need to use higher frets, don't fret. Use A through Z to go from the 10th to 36th fret. When entering finger positions, type a dash for strings that are not played and numbers 1 through 4 for each finger moving from the index to pinky finger. If we leave this blank, OnSong will figure out the finger positions automatically. Once we create the variation, we can also make changes to it. New chords are added to the bottom of the list. Tap on the chord and then on the action menu that appears in the upper right corner. Choose Set Default to move the variation to the front of the list. OnSong will now use this for the songs that don't have a preferred chord variation. You can also edit the chord by choosing Edit from the menu, or play back the chord by tapping on the Playback option. If we really don't like how it sounds, just delete it. I hope this helps you understand how to create chord charts with chords and what you can do with them to help you learn, teach, and play music. If you have any questions, please contact us at support@onsongapp.com. Thanks for watching.